that.
10 years of dull military
Okay.
experience.
Recording on my end.
Alright, I'm recording. So, we are about to explain to you exactly how to make merging permanent on your character to gain critical bonuses from things like snipers or other things like healing weapons or anything like that. Stay permanently on your character until you save quit. What you're going to need is a lot of snipers, as you can see I have here. The best way to do that is going to be the mass duping method that we will be also having a video up on at some point here in the near future, whenever, probably about the same time that this one goes up, so that should be linked at some point. So you'll have your off-host character here, mass dupe a bunch of snipers so you can have them all in your inventory. And this is going to be the way to consistently get at least 2 snipers onto your character every single time around on this this way through. So I'm going to be explaining everything with the assumption that you have watched the duping video with things like double dropping or things like mass duping. They will be very important to this and will not work without this. So what I'm going to have Raikara here do is he is going to double drop any weapon, does not matter, as long as he can get more than one out from the duping method, even though it will probably be by macros here. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be.
You can do this without macros, and you can do it without free scrolling. So I'm going to equip one of these pistols.
I will. You need to also, on the host end, track which slot you are on in terms of everything else. A, so that you know which one, which slot you're on just in general, and B, so that the off-host character doesn't force something into your inventory over that slot. Because it needs to be forced over something that is going to exist, and once I force equip one of these weapons from the ground, slot 2 here that I'm on currently will disappear from my inventory. So here I go. I force equip it, which, as you can see, kind of breaks my hands and does weird things, and does also weird things on his end.
Correct. I have an invisible gun.
I do as well. So you'll open your inventory now. He's going to equip one of his snipers that he has onto my slot 3, which also has a sniper. Well, or whatever else, whatever.
For this example, I'm going to use a red launcher.
Yes,
okay?
It does not actually matter which gun goes into the slot. It's just as long as it is a gun, basically, that both parties can equip.
As you can see, I put it on slot 3, and it's gone. What at this point I'm going to do is save quit. And you can rejoin whenever.
Press slot 3, which is what he just did. I'm going to put a sniper back into slot 2 while merging slot 3 into slot 2, which you'll see made that launcher go away, and just there's a bunch of snipers now. I'm also going to put new snipers on 1 and new snipers on slot 4. So now with this weapon, I'm going to merge again onto slot 1, merge again onto slot 2, merge again onto slot 3, then merge again back to slot 1, and eventually, when I open my menu again, you'll see I have no more snipers. Where'd they go? Well, you'll see the damage number that I did earlier at the start of the video is now much, much higher.
And can you tell me that number, please?
1082.
1082. So, you have 4 snipers right now. But you're only wielding 1, correct?
Yes.
You are not merged with any others currently?
There's 1 gun in my inventory right now.
Okay. Can you equip 3 more then?
Yes.
As further proof. You can do normal merging on top of this.
Still that same 1082, so I'm just going to merge all of these on top of it. Oops. Whatever. That doesn't work. And 1784.
Correct. So you'll have 7.
That's now almost double.
Yes.
And that was probably very hard to explain and very hard to follow, rather. And that is because you're under slight time crunch in that. don't fully know exactly when the gun is gonna disappear and everything's gonna happen. It's seemingly random.
We don't know
And
the cause.
even if it does disappear early and you haven't done all the merges, most of the time it will still work as long as you've replaced every sniper in your inventory. But this is still very unknown why as to all of that happens. For this, there will also be a link to a good merging tutorial for those of you that are that will need that, because that is a very integral part of this glitch, since it is a different style of merging. I'm just gonna kind of go over it again right now, just for your just to kind of recap a little bit slower this time. So Raikaru and I kind of merge our inventories together so that he can equip something into my inventory by both equipping the same gun, because the game can't handle that. So Raikaru puts one of his guns into his slots, which makes the game think it's in my slots, which is slot 3 here. Now my slot 2 is empty and broken because of something else. So I put a new sniper into slot 2 while setting up a merge from slot 3, and then merging that new sniper that I just placed in from my backpack onto slot 3, which made the launcher that was there seemingly disappear when it's actually just underneath that sniper and you can't see it. So then I replaced slot 1's weapon and slot 4's weapon, which means you should be able to just have those empty, to be honest. Before you start this, there shouldn't be any reason that shouldn't work. Well, it might. It depends on how force equipping would work. That's not something that's been tested, but it should still be fine. You just have to... No, that should be fine. As long as you have a sniper on slot 3, that's all that's really going to matter. So then from there, put the guns in slot 1 here, slot 4 here. And then close the menu, start a merge again, and move slot 3 to slot 1, which instead of moving the sniper, it moves the launcher up to slot 1, and it moves this launcher on top of weapon 1. So then you close your menu again, which puts you on slot 3 again, which you merge slot 3 into slot 2 and slot 3 into slot 4 after that, and then moving 3 back to 1, and then eventually it just does the thing, which, as you can tell, we don't understand it any better than you do, other than how to do it. So we also don't know if this is something that's doable on current patch. We have not tried it. Odds are it won't work, seeing as it does rely on merging so much. It should work all the way up to 1.8.3. Outside of that, that about wraps that up. That gives you either 2 or 3 snipers onto your character permanently, as long as you don't save quit, and that can be done with any other type of weapon too, as long as you can merge it and you get a bonus from it. So hope that helps. I hope it wasn't too confusing, and I hope the explanation after the fact was sufficient to actually maybe follow the madness that we've found.
If you're still having a hard time, just go back step by step and rewatch it.
Yeah, because if you do that process wrong, especially if you do not replace, like if your weapons that you're merging together are not from your backpack, things won't work as well. You'll get less of them, at least. So the ones that are already in your slots should not work. Should not. as much as we can tell. So yeah, feel free to ask questions in the comments. Feel free to contact either of us. We will do our best to explain anything, because hopefully we'll understand it better ourselves here soon, but there's no promises on that either. So, thank you for watching. We will see you guys next time.
Later.